For bus here in Anjara in the county area of Aljun. We're visiting Our Lady of the Mountain, or as they have here, Mount Lady Church. And we're going in here for Mass. There's the steeple, and the church awaits us.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, Lord.
After making the crossing to the other side of the sea, Jesus and his disciples came to land at Gennesaret and tied up there. As they were leaving the boat, people immediately recognized him. They scurried about the surrounding countryside and began to bring in the sick on mats to wherever they heard he was. Whatever villages or towns or countryside he entered, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that they might touch only the tassel on his cloak. And as many as touched him were healed. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
What an awesome set of readings and just a place to begin our worship with in the Holy Land. First, this gospel passage, which begins with quite a bit of geography that I think is going to make a little bit of sense to us on our pilgrimage. There are some places that we're going to end up going on the pilgrimage were mentioned in the readings. I think that's awesome. If it's okay with you, I'd like to talk a little bit about just Jacob and some of the ideas of Jacob in Israel, what his name becomes. We're going to visit the Jabbok River later today. And I love that notion. He's going along, and this angel stops and he wrestles with him all night long. And he gives him, Jacob won't let him leave without giving him a blessing. And so the angel blesses him and gives him a new name. But it's, the angel's a messenger of God, bestowing this name and this identity upon Jacob, who becomes Israel. The one who the nation of Israel is named for. Identity in the gospel is so important. And identity in our lives as Christians is so important. The fact that God takes that moment and makes it a moment of identity. And really, the book of Genesis is so much about identity. So much about who we are. And Jesus himself, when he comes, he shows us in a new way who we are. We're going to have the opportunity to visit the site of baptism. And what happens at baptism? The heavens open, and the Father says, "You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased." Identity is so important. If you watch the movies of today, they're always, the best ones are about identity. If you ever watch a Disney movie is always about identity. Like Lion King, what is Simba? Remember who you are. Or, Aladdin, he actually is the prince. Or what an awesome movie Gladiator is. You guys seen Gladiator? Remember when he takes off the mask and he says his name, like who he actually is, and you're like, yeah, awesome, so cool. Because we know identity is something that's so important. Well, when Jesus is baptized in the Jordan, and his name, he reveals, or God reveals, "You are my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." Jesus already knows this, but it confirms his identity. But it's also the identity that you and I are going to share in. Jacob had an experience of that. He had an identity bestowed on him by God. And you and I have an identity bestowed on us by God himself. Each one of us, we have this identity. We have this almost Protestant way of looking at ourselves, a very Calvinistic way of looking at ourselves, thinking like, oh, I'm just this mass of sin or garbage. Isn't that something that's so tempting to focus on our guilt and on our shame and on our fear and all these things? But in reality, God wants us to know our true identity. I hope that on this pilgrimage we get a sense of that. And get a sense of how God is loving us in who we are. When he looks at us, he sees us not as the sum of our failures, as John Paul II says, but as the sum of his love for us. When God looks at us, he sees his own beloved. It is a great joy for us. Let's enter into this pilgrimage through prayer, seeking to know our identity in a new and beautiful way.